You exist at the same time in the past, the present, and the future across different layers of reality. At this exact moment, versions of you are living every choice that you didn't make. All of them are exchanging information with each other through what you call intuition and dreams. Your thoughts construct physical events. When you decided to stay at that job, another version quit. When you believe that the world is dangerous, you create situations that confirm it. When you expect to be abandoned, you unconsciously configure the circumstances for it to happen. There is no neutral universe observing you. You write the rules and then live within them, forgetting that you were the author. Religions have convinced you that you were born defective and in need of repair, that the body is inferior to the spirit, that suffering is noble and pleasure is suspect. It's a lie. Each of your cells pulses with its own intelligence. The joy that you feel when eating something delicious, when dancing, when hugging someone, this is just as spiritual as any meditation. You don't need to transcend anything. You are the blessing, not the sin.
Hello and welcome. How are you doing today? My name's Campbell. This is Autodidactic. And of course, autodidactic means to be self-educated. And that's what we do here. We check out what's going on in this strange realm we find ourselves in, and we come to our own conclusions, right? Because all of this stuff that we see, it's all happening on the screen, right? For us, we don't even know if it's real or not. We know how much the mainstream media fake they're reporting, and now we have AI as well. So we really need a bit of discernment, right? We need to make up our own mind, because if you're not self-educated, then the only choice you have left is to believe what other people tell you.
We can use technology smartly, but that's not popular. It's not out there. Like, in the last 3 or 4 years, people are finally starting to wake up to the red light stuff. That red light is an antidote to blue. Yeah. But it turns out you really need UV and red light to offset. Ratio. But this explains to you now why Obama put the ban in for incandescents, because what did incandescents have? UV and red.
Yeah, so what is the play there? They want people that are docile, addicted, good consumers,
fiat guys. That's exactly what they want. You want to know what they want? They want downtown San Francisco. They want people to take shits on the sidewalks and do whatever Nancy Pelosi tells them to do.
That entire desire is so deeply ignorant of economics, though, because you actually want really competent, energized, vitalized people.
Time out. We've been talking all day. Who did I tell you these people were loyal to? Globalists.
Yeah.
What are globalists all about? Communism. Yeah. About one world government.
Yeah.
Council of Foreign Relations. Dude, this totally fits. Yeah. You know what the problem is? Your viewpoint about government and what it's supposed to be isn't their viewpoint. And that is
my point is they are the perpetrators of the economic dark ages in which we live.
You're absolutely correct. And that's why I told you before, they are worse than Satan.
Yeah,
they are worse than Satan.
You would actually want a very healthy, vitalized society that's engaging in a lot of free trade, because that creates a ton of wealth.
Well, that's what happened after the Dark Ages and the Renaissance. Think about it. That's where Michelangelo comes from. That's where, it's reflected. Our lack of blue light, our nature is reflected in our artwork, is reflected in our statues.
Yes, Dr. Jack Kruse, he's all about the light diet, and well, that was really about the government, that one, wasn't it? And that they're just basically communists, right? This is the globalists, and, they try and get us to believe we're on this trapped globe, right? Spinning through an infinite vacuum. And, this is what it's all about, is confusing us. When people are confused, they're easy to control. But let me know, what do you think about what Jack was talking about?
So you want to know the real reason they tell you copper is toxic? Well, the real reason they tell you that copper is toxic is copper has the ability to electrically charge a human body, which is another reason why they zap you back to life. And that's exactly why in the 1800s that houses were full of copper piping, and they had a water fountain scattered over the world that you could drink from freely, which were made from copper. Now, the majority of your body is also made from copper and carbon, so how can copper be toxic? And copper and carbon actually create electricity. So then humans are electrical beings. Therefore, if we do not have electricity, our body will not function, which is why we need copper. And that explains why they're replacing the copper pipes with plastic. Now, they also found that copper can help with inflammation in the body and osteoporosis. And back in the 1800s, if you were to walk into a hospital riddled with inflammation, they'd sit you on a hospital bed made from linen and give you a copper cup and a copper bracelet as well, depending on where you were feeling the pain. This was in the 1800s. So you then have to ask the question, why are we not taught this in schools about the benefits of copper? And why does the media say that it's bad when it's named the king of all mineral? It just does not make any sense.
Well, I mean, it does make sense when you understand that the government is not your friend, as Terence McKenna would say. Clearly the government just want to control us, keep us sick, keep us down, and it seems unalive, half the population, right? But copper, it's so true. Like everything, all the pipes used to be copper, and they just rip them out and replace them with plastic, right? And that goes back to the Rockefellers and the DuPonts and their oil, right? Their plastic empire. And the Rockefellers said that they want to see humans coated in plastic. And that's what's happening, with all these pipes and stuff. Also, Teflon, right? Cooking in non-stick pans and that. It's putting microplastics all through our bodies. I was even thinking about, dishwashers. Not that I have one, but my parents have got a dishwasher and they throw those little bags in and they're covered in, it's like a plastic bag with liquid in it. What happens to that plastic? Goes all over your plates and cups and cutlery, right? And talking about cutlery, like back in the day as well, like cups and cutlery used to be made from real metals like, brass and copper and silver, even gold. Now it's all stainless steel. So they know we're electric and they're trying to make us run on a low frequency, I guess. They want to restrict our electric field, is what they're doing, which weakens us. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. And do you use copper?
I've got to share this with you. I just had the craziest downloads, and I'm talking, I don't think I've ever had a download like this ever to this extreme, to this extent. This moon, you see, it's called a supermoon. And when the moon is full is when you can manifest anything. The energies are up high. It pulls on water. When they talk about the king tide, right? When you get a king tide, it's from the moon. It pulls on the water, right? Emotions. That's like in our body, our emotion. Anyway, so I got these crazy downloads of what's coming. And it's next level of what I have to share with you. And I'm going to be sharing this from every video from this moment forth. I'm writing it down. Like I've been writing for the last, half an hour. Constantly, just boom, 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 boom. This supermoon is bringing in this awakening. It's going to happen to you. Don't worry, I'm telling you. This awakening is going to happen to you. It's coming for you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to drive a special car or look a certain way. This is coming for everybody. And it's energetic in nature. Your energies just... All I ask is this is what I was told. Just think of a level playing field. Where's that moon? I lost it. The clouds. Just think of a level playing field. And we're all on a level playing field, all of us. There's something you weren't given when you were born. You didn't get a guide on how you work and how to manifest. But it's easy to manifest drama, and hence everyone's got it. What's coming is going to flip everything you thought you knew about manifestation. You might be I don't know where you are in your life right now, but wherever you're at, you'll be able to flip misery into joy. So fast, it came on to me, it just started unleashing, and I'm like, this is the best. Well, so I made notes of it, and I'm doing a quick video because I just want to let you know that what's coming is insane. You're about to have a glow. It's coming. And when I say it's coming, you'll have to feel this for yourself. I can't feel it for you, but I can share my excitement. And I wanted to get that out to you. And I'm going to be posting. I've got so much I've got to put out. I can't put it out in one video. So I'm going to have to do it day after day. Stay tuned, because let me tell you something. It's coming for you. And when it comes for you, I'm telling you, you're going to know it, because you're going to feel it. Just go with your feelings. And the other thing I was meant to say was, if you're feeling negative, just become an observer to your negative. Just observe it. Don't judge it, observe it. And it will release. Just observe it. Don't push it away anymore. This is the shadow. Just observe it for what it is. Anyway, I'll see you to the next one.
Just observe your negativity. I mean, it's probably good advice, right? As what we focus on grows, right? Where attention goes, energy flows. And manifestation is saying it's getting easier in the moon. Let me know your manifestation stories. How have you gone? What are your techniques? What do you use? And the moon, like the moon, I don't know, the moon seems to be different recently. It seems to be having, like all these blood moons and stuff. I never heard of those growing up. And now, every second moon's a blood moon or a this moon or a that moon or a portal. What does all this mean? I'm not really up on it. And do you get downloads? Is the other thing he was talking about, downloads. We hear a lot of talk about downloads and people getting downloads. Do you get them? Because I don't. I definitely don't get verbal downloads or anything like that. I get knowings, but yeah, I'm not really sure what a download is. Do you get them? What are they? What are you learning?
Why are the chosen ones unemployed right now? This is a question I hear a lot, but I think the truth is a job is not on our same vibrational frequency anymore because a job is a construct of the 3D. And we are meant to be leading humanity in a new direction using our gifts. And our gifts are how we're going to be making a living. Because energy is the real currency. And by using our energy to create and give, we will in return receive what we put out. And what we put out can be free, like love, knowledge, motivation, wisdom. So your energy literally has no overhead costs or upfront costs to get started. So if you resonate with being a chosen one or a creative, this is your sign to get started and start putting your art out there and your work out there.
Are you a chosen one or a star seed? I'm guessing everyone watching this video is of the same kind of mindset, and we do definitely feel different, right, than the average population. Is that what we're going to call it? The NPC factor, right? Which, it does seem to be real. We meet all these people that we can't even sort of connect with, right? But saying that, the whole NPC thing, can be dangerous. We don't want to think of these people as not being alive or anything or being less than us. But yeah, it's interesting. Jobs. Do you have a job? Are you unemployed? Where are you working towards? Because this is what I've been saying for a while. If we want to create this new world, this new realm, a new age on Earth, then we have to build it. Like the system's collapsing. Look at the movie industry and music, even the banking. I mean, that's obviously by design, but all their systems seem to be failing, and everything that they're trying to push seems to be failing as well. Right? They push a story, and within an hour or two, it's been completely debunked, right? And because of this, we need to build the new systems ourselves. So what are you good at? What's your passion? What's your drive? What are you good at creatively? Because whatever it is, I would say start, right? Start building it. Start building a life that you can love, that you enjoy, where you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning and go and do the 9 to 5 job and the 40-hour week and all this kind of stuff. Because clearly it doesn't work, right? So I guess that's our choice at the moment. Do we want to continue to put more energy into the system, which is clearly against us, or do we want to put our energy somewhere else, creating a different way, a different life, a different way to give value?
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
This is going to be corny, but I think it's the most powerful thing in the world. If you read every ancient text, whatever religion, the Nag Hammadi, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you read, the most common phrase, including the Bible, the New Testament, the Old Testament, even the forbidden books of the Bible, like the book of Timothy, the most common phrase ever repeated in all of those texts, you know what it is? Do not fear. In every single ancient religious text is fear not or do not fear or some variation of that. Funny enough, the King James Version of the Bible says do not fear 365 times.
365 times, hey? One for each day of the year. But I did not know that it was the most used phrase, but it's definitely good advice. Fear, false evidence appearing real. And, that's what this channel and this whole thing is about, right? It's be prepared, not scared. This is just so that we can make better decisions going forward, so that we can see their agenda more clearly. And that way we can have better questions, because that's what it's really all about, in my opinion, is asking better questions. It's not about getting better answers, it's about better questions, because you can't get the right answer if you don't have the right question.
You're in a video game called Life on Earth, and if you're watching this video, you're probably a lot closer to winning the game than you might think. It does really seem to be that we live in a simulation. There's almost no matter in reality, and it's just photons, light, energy that responds to our emotions and our thoughts. And so, what's the objective? What's the purpose of this experience, this video game matrix simulation? I'm going to offer a few perspectives, saving the most intriguing one for last. Many people talk about we're souls on a growth and healing journey, and that comes through experiences. I love the book Journey of Souls. It talks about the planning process of picking our life, our body, our family, our challenges, and I get head to toe goosebumps when I read this book. I can't recommend it enough. Another perspective is that it's all about love. We're here to learn how to choose love over fear. And I want to point out that a lot of us forget to give ourselves that love. We focus it outward, but you are every bit as important as anybody else. And ultimately, I don't think there is anybody else, that we're all fundamentally one at some level. So when you give yourself love, you are giving love out to the collective. Another reason we might be here, this one I really respond to, is to free ourselves from the prison of the mind, right? There's lots of programming and fear that keeps us limited. My special person in my life really wanted me to watch this Black Mirror episode. He just kept saying, we gotta watch it, gotta watch it. And when I watched it, I just felt such goosebumps. Because the characters were falling in line and doing what they were supposed to, because there are always men around with pew-pews. So they were scared. But then they started to question reality and question why they're doing what they're doing, and then noticed that these men were actually just holograms and didn't have any power. It was only the power they were giving them through the fear. And the last objective that I really resonate with of why we're here is to remember who we are. But ultimately, we're a spark of that one divine consciousness that created all of us. I had a really profound experience where I do feel like I connected with this energy in a shamanic healing ceremony in the Peruvian Amazon. We can call this energy prime creator or source consciousness, something like that, but I really felt like I was hearing from prime creator, that once it became conscious of itself, it was wondering, like, why do I have all this power? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do with it? Who created me? And so it started creating to learn about itself. Earth was one of those creations, and we have to forget that we're all one, otherwise the game wouldn't be very interesting. And so what do you think? What is the point of all of this? Nobody really knows, and we're all kind of winging it. But I want to hear in the comments why you think we're here. And if you like this kind of stuff, like and follow for more. The next video is going to be about, why does Earth seem so dark? Is there a point to all of that?
Why are we here? Why are you here? It's like she was saying, there's a lot of theories out there, right? But it's an edge. It's a definite edge, right? We don't know what's why we're here and what's after this experience, do we? Like, it's all thoughts and philosophies, but it's very hard to prove any of that kind of stuff. She did talk about the book Journey of Souls, though, which is a good book. It talks about, it's basically someone who was regressing people, like putting them under hypnosis and regressing them back, and he started getting pre this life, right? And they were telling the story, I think it was 98% all told the same story of going to this place after life, where you review your previous life, you learn lessons, and then you start writing out or choosing what you want for your next life, and you choose your parents, and then you incarnate. So what's it all for? What's it all about? Let me know in the comments. Why are we here? What is this place? Because it's very confusing, right? And I still haven't found my rule book. Like, where's the book? Right? Obviously, we're given books and told that, they're the answer, and that's how we should live, and that's what this place is. But they're all a bit dodgy, really, right? Can't trust them. But I kind of think of it as, we're like gods in training, if you want to put it that way. Like, we're very powerful and we can create things. Now, if that's true, imagine if we were all just allowed to roam around and just create whatever comes into our mind. That would be a pretty chaotic place. So I think we're down here to learn how to use our mind properly, how to become the proper, magician, right? And what's the lady? Whatever, right? Like man or woman magic using, like to use our magic and to use it well to create good things. Because, we've seen what goes on in this world through some people's minds. And I guess because of that, we need to be contained, right? While we learn how to be master manifestors. But let me know your thoughts.
There is footage that has recently came out of what happened during the Malaysian flight. I'm gonna show you this video, dog.
So that's the flight.
That's the flight. Yeah, that's the plane.
Okay.
Pay attention.
What is that thing flying around it?
There's 3 of them.
There's like this. Whoa.
Bro, keep watching.
Bro, they like. What the is that?
You see what I'm saying?
Nah, this is legit for us?
Yes, this is legit. Bro, Joe Rogan and them are talking about it too.
Bro.
I don't know what the heck I'm looking at.
There's like these 3. It starts off with 1.
Yeah.
And then 2 other ones come.
Bro, keep watching. It gets weirder, bro. And I'm gonna tell you some of the things people are saying.
What the fuck? And they're just circulating around the airplane.
Yeah. You saw that, right? You saw that, right?
Like a white, like, explosion happened or something. But it didn't even look like an explosion. Like,
it was like it just said boom.
Like a blink.
Like it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like it got sent somewhere or something. They even showed it in thermal.
Yo.
It's the same footage. It's the same footage.
Whoa.
Dog.
Bro. What the fuck is that?
You saw it disappear, right?
Yes.
Wow, Malaysian airline flight M70 disappeared. I mean, quite a while ago. It was over a decade, wasn't it? I can't remember the year, but yeah. Have you seen that footage before? There is a channel. I can't remember the guy's name, but if you just search Malaysian airline M70, you'll find him. He's done a lot of research, and he actually found that footage. So, a few things about that. One is, how are they getting that footage? Right? I mean, to me, there's 2 explanations. One is it's fake and it's AI'd, and the other one is it was a planned operation. And this is what, can't remember his name. This is what the guy who's been researching it says, is that they had drones out there filming it because it was an operation, right? And, that could be true. I mean, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that's true? Now, if it disappeared, where did it go? Did it go to a parallel universe? Did it go to a different time? Did it just get zapped, to some other part on the world? Maybe outside the ice wall? Who knows, right? What do you think? And the orbs flying around it, right? We've seen a few orbs popping up in our skies and on our screens over the last year, right? It's becoming a regular thing, or at least that's what they want us to believe. So that also makes me think that a lot of this stuff, maybe all of it, is from the government. It's generated down here on Earth. It's not from anywhere else. And it's all building for the whole Blue Beam project, right? That they want to project into the sky, which is all about, the one world religion, all this, the savior returning, blah, blah, blah. But what do you think? Is it real? Is it not? If it is real, where did it go? Where did this plane go? And has that got something to do with all the orbs we're seeing in the sky at the moment?
So big news, Taylor Swift just dropped The Life of a Showgirl, and what an album it is. Her fiancé Travis Kelce says it's banger after banger. USA Today says she's shaken off the gloom of the tortured poets department and returned with playful pop and sharp one-liners. The New York Times frames it as Taylor hungry to move on, less about feuds and more about her future, though not without some side-eye at her past. The Guardian wasn't as impressed, though, saying that the whole thing feels a little bit rushed, akin to how romantic bliss doesn't fuel the same fire as heartbreak. Billboard magazine describes it as bangers for adults, not another 1989, but mature, sharp, and still packed with hooks. Variety says the love songs here feel easy, for once, not battle-tested, which makes the album an uncomplicated good time. And people, they went all in, calling it her most radio-ready album since 1989 and the spiritual sister of Reputation. For me, overall, feels like a reset. Is it her best album? No. But is it entertaining, a little messy, and guaranteed to get people talking? Absolutely.
Well, were you listening or were you reading and watching what was going on in the background? Interesting video, right? And if you didn't see what was going on in the background, rewind and have a watch. It wasn't about Taylor Swift. And this is, I just found that interesting, one, because it gives us the message, right? Always have a look at what's going on in the background, right? Because it is the old magician's trick they use, right? Watch this hand, not this hand. And two, it's interesting that that's where we are. Like the surveillance state, there's so much surveillance, there is so much censorship on social media that this is what people have to do now, right? They have to talk about things that are acceptable and show you in the background what's really going on. But what did you think of that? And what was being said through the images in the background? Do you agree? I mean, it's coming out pretty thick and fast at the moment, and I definitely agree that they are the parasite, right? The small hats.
I went to a temple in Cambodia called Pre Khan, but what I learned completely flipped my perspective. It turns out this wasn't really a temple. It was a hospital, but not the kind we know of today. There were no needles, no doctors in white coats. This was a place where they healed people with frequency, vibration, sacred water, and sound. The deeper I walked, the more I felt it. The energy, the stillness, the design. Every stone in this place seemed tuned to the human body. They believed that illness didn't start in the body. It started in the spirit, in the mind. And that healing had to reach deeper than just the surface. There are chambers here that echo when you chant. I tapped my chest, and the whole room resonated through my spine. Locals still come here today to rebalance their energy. This place isn't ruins. It's a living frequency machine built over 800 years ago. We've forgotten how to heal like this. But maybe these ancient walls never forgot.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this a bit on this channel. Everything is frequency. Do you agree? And, of course, all these old, temples, cathedrals, things like this, in my opinion, were hospitals, right? Were frequency healing centers, basically. And this is the thing. And this is the thing. Today, doctors, which means to forge, by the way, and they only practice, right? But doctors in the medical industry, they work on the result. They work on the physical, which is the end result of who we really are. Like we have spirit, we have mind and frequency energy, and then we have the material world. But the material world comes from the mental world, what we imagine, right? From our consciousness, we create the material world. And like he said, we create disease, right? And health through our mind. So basically, this is the thing. If you work on the energy body and the frequency, then you're going to heal the problem, the cause of your disease, right? Of your issues. But when you just work on the manifested physical body, you're just putting band-aids on, right? You're not fixing the cause. So even if you go in and cut stuff out, the cause is still there and it's just going to re-manifest in another place. Right. And we see this all the time with people who get cancer and they get bits cut out and then it pops up somewhere else, right? So, yeah, I totally agree. All these places were healing centers, but let me know your thoughts.
On this wall, this is limestone. This is calcite crystal. So this entire section of the wall, this part here, and this part here is all huge single slab of limestone. I mean, calcite crystal. Calcite. Yeah, alabaster.
Yeah. Wow.
You see the difference
there.
The limestone and the calcite crystal.
Wow.
Mafish Noah is going to show us. What about your flashlight? This one's better. Yes, I know. All right. So he's going to show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No statue, okay? Yeah. I know, okay? I see.
Okay, you see the figure?
Whoa.
You see the belly button and then the arms?
Yeah.
Curiouser and curiouser. That figure that was just appeared with the light, that was pretty cool. But, the whole thing, it's made of alabaster, right? Crystal calcite. And it was a chamber. And this goes along with the theory that this was all, built around energy and harmonizing energy, right? The old world was built for us, to help us grow and be more of who we really are, as opposed totally to where we find ourselves now, where everything's about the false you, the fake you, the outside world, the mask that you present to the world. It's definitely not about being ourselves, is it?
What time is it?
Sir, 1:30.
How you know? Is it close?
Yeah.
Again, right? Everything's frequency, and the old world knew it. They knew how to work with frequency. They knew it was a basis for everything. They worked with sacred geometry, right? All this kind of stuff to create this amazing world. And then something happened, right? We got invaded. And I think this is to do with cycles and resets as well. And we basically went into a lower vibration, which we've been in for at least a couple of 100 years. But I think that's all changing now. We're coming up, right? The frequency is rising again, and the world is waking up. Of course, this is not the picture that the parasite, right, is giving to us through all the news, the media, the social media, all this stuff. They want us to believe and to see a world that's chaotic, right, and that's crumbling. But the exact opposite is happening, because we know that all they do is invert things, right?
You believe in the theory of nothing. You believe in the Big Bang, where nothing exploded and created the entire universe out of nothing. You also believe that the universe is expanding into more nothing. You believe in black holes, which are a bunch of nothing, sucking up everything. You think that large masses can bend space, which is basically like saying they can bend nothing. You also think that life itself came from nothing, and that after death there is also nothing. You also believe that rockets work in space because the rocket's thrust pushes against nothing to move forward. And when asked for proof of your nothing theories, guess what we get? More nothing.
Ah, the great no thing. That's what they want, right? Everything for themselves and no things for us.
1 gram is liftoff.
5 grams is what Terrence would say was a hero's journey. But when you do 1/10 of a 1 gram, you don't feel it. 1/20th for sure you don't feel it. So the idea is you do microdosing below the threshold of intoxication, but then it benefits neurogenesis. It looks like the neurogenic benefits of microdosing are greater than the neurogenic benefits of macrodosing. You flood the receptors, you're having this incredible trip, it's fantastic, it's colorful, it's life-changing. Yes, that is all beneficial for changing your life. But doing microdosing over the long term, because the nerves don't regrow in 6 hours, but over weeks of regeneration of nerves with microdosing, it seems to me that the microdosings, instead of flooding and overwhelming all the receptors, are feeding these receptors, they're allowing for neurogenesis.
Yeah, mushrooms, right? Psilocybin. It's like you were saying, it regrows neurons in your mind and your nervous system, which is pretty cool. And so this is obviously, medicine. It's not about, going for a trip or anything like that. But I know they've been trialing microdosing on people with mental illness and they're getting really good results. So what do you think about this? Have you tried it?
We know that they can take remote control of your car and make you drive off a bridge. Any car? Any car that has a computer in it, which is every car, unless you're driving a 57 Chevy or something. We know that they can take any smart TV and turn the speaker into a microphone so that it broadcasts what's being said in the room, even while the TV is off. Another thing that they did was they infected computers domestically, which is illegal. But then in the code, they embedded lines of code written in either Farsi or Cyrillic so that they could point, say, no, it wasn't us. It was the Russians, the Iranians. They did it. Look, the code. They forgot to translate these lines of code. They're still in Russian and Farsi. No, it was us. I've been out of the CIA for 21 years now. That is a lifetime, technologically speaking. It's a different world today. God knows what they can do that we haven't found out yet.
The encroaching surveillance state. But I mean, it's interesting, right? It kind of proves that we are, the powerful ones, right? Because the parasite spends all its time trying to work us out, right? Trying to collect data on us. What do we do? What are our habits? What do we move? And yes, of course, that's being turned into, advertising to try and sell us stuff, get us more possessed, right? More possessions. But there's clearly a bigger agenda going on. This parasite doesn't have a soul. It's not human, but it's trying to figure out how to be, because I believe that it wants to incarnate. It wants to be physical because it's a jealous God, right? That's what it tells us. It's a jealous God. It's jealous of us, right? And the fact that we are free humans, it doesn't like that. That's why it's trying to make us not free.
You've never actually touched anything in your entire life. Not the ground beneath your feet, not the phone in your hand, not even the person you love most. Want to know why? Everything in the universe, everything, is made of atoms. Tiny, invisible building blocks that make up you, me, and everything around us. But here's the catch. Atoms are 99.9999% empty space, or what we perceive as empty space, even though it isn't really empty, but that's another story. Anyway, if you zoomed in on one, you'd barely see anything at all. So why does the world feel solid? Here's where it gets crazy. Each atom has a tiny force field of electrons spinning around it like a protective bubble. And when two atoms get close, like the atoms in your hand and the atoms in a wall, they push against each other. It's like trying to shove the same ends of two magnets together. No matter how hard you try, they won't touch. What you feel as touch is just the force of those atoms repelling each other. Literally. You've never touched anything. Ever. But here's the real kicker. The atoms in that wall. The atoms in your body. They're not solid or still. They're vibrating. Constantly. And the slower something vibrates, the more solid it feels. What you call solid is just energy, moving so slowly that your senses are tricked into thinking it's real. So what you call touch is just energy interacting with energy. What you call solid is just vibrations moving slow enough for your senses to believe it's real.
It's all vibration. What do you think? Do you agree? But it's true, like we never touch anything. All we feel is two electromagnetic fields resisting each other, right? It's like when you feel like an aura, right, on someone. If you've ever done that, you can feel the resistance of the two energy fields there. So, I agree. I don't think we ever actually touch anything. And of course, that's mainly because we're not physical, right? It's just the illusion, what we've been taught to see, like the program. I'm sure that without this parasite here, we would see the world as a much different place, right? Because we'd be running on our experience, right, of being here rather than a program telling us what this place is. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Is everything energy, or is that just, woo woo and everything's actually physical, like science wants us to believe? Because, of course, science doesn't believe in the ether, doesn't believe in the 99% of space that is in an atom, right? Which, of course, is not space. It's the ether. It's the energy that holds everything together. It's the creator energy, right? The God energy. But they don't believe in it, which is another interesting thing, right? Because it doesn't have a soul, this parasite, the demiurge, right? The jealous god. But there you go, guys. A few videos there all ended up being sort of about energy, right? Interesting how these things work out. But let me know your thoughts, please, on these videos. And of course, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already and you do enjoy this content, and share it round, right? Let's get this content out there. And thanks for spending some time with me. And I'll talk to you on the next upload. Bye for now.
What are you doing? If you're gonna be stupid, you better be tough.
Really, Layla?
Who ate the Hawaiian rolls? Did you eat my burger? Lambo.
Did you eat? Did you enjoy it?
You just ate an entire chicken parm. A whole chicken. Do you have any idea what you've done? It was $20.
What?
Hi.
Who did? What did you do?
Odie May. Hey! You've got to be fucking kidding me.
What are you doing? Wait, no. 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 Hey!